Cody Collier, how are you, sir?
Leonard Duncan, I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Hey, round five of the GNCC. Wow, what's going on out there?
Some craziness going on out there, man. Some craziness. Out in the youth race first thing in the morning. One of the championship leaders, the Poland, Bryce Poland, ran some quad issues early in the race and dropped out. So Andrew Smallwood got the win and kind of checked out on everyone, put on a clinic. Andrew Smallwood going out and getting that win in the youth race, and then for my race, the 11 a.m. race, crazy battle out front with me, Landon and Brandon, swapping positions all day. Great racing out front, and I ended up getting the win. I made a late last lap pass and got the win. And
I got a question about that. If I can interrupt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was watching a video, and you three were all real close, but as you guys were going through the tight area that they showed in the video, it seemed like the actual ruts that you were running in were throwing the machines from side to side, almost like you weren't using the steering or your body English to get the machine to move. It was almost like it was a slot car where it was just forcing you to go the directions that it was already, wore into the course.
Yeah, if you're referring to my highlight video that I have on my Instagram, there's a section we have in there. It's just there's kind of like a tree and then two trees, and it's kind of like everyone was hooking it, made a weird rut on the left and the right, and you were just able to bob and weave through those trees and just kind of hook. You didn't really have to do too much turning.
That's exactly what was going on then? So
yeah, just the way the rut shaped up, you were just able to bounce off the rut. You didn't really have to turn too much.
So that battle, you were telling me that you three battled the entire time?
Yeah. I got whole shot. Landon got second off the start, so Landon was nipping my heels all day, and then Brandon was like, I think, fifth or sixth or something. There was a lot of field off the start, so I'm sure he picked his way through pretty quick. But it was us three up front like the first time I turned around. So later in the first lap, so they were there all day.
How many laps and how many leader changes were there?
There was 4 laps. I had the lead, and then I got screwed by a lapper, and Landon got the lead, and then me and Landon pitted, and then Brandon got the lead, and then I got back up to second behind Brandon, and Brandon pitted at the beginning of the last lap. He chose not to pit at the beginning of the third lap, thinking he was going to be able to pull away, and I stayed close enough to pass him back at pit, and I had the lead until the same exact spot. I lost the lead on the second lap due to lappers. I lost it again due to lappers, and I lost the lead there. So Brandon got the lead back. So that's a fourth lead change. And then I passed Brandon back with a great line with like 2 miles to go, less than 2 miles to go. Got him back there, and that was the last one.
And you guys finished all within what, 10, 15 seconds of each other?
I think the split from me to third was like less than 4 seconds.
Man, that's good racing right there, isn't it?
Really good racing. I know Landon had gotten into a couple issues with some lappers and ended up losing some time here and there, but I came to a stop at a couple of points during the race because of lappers, just trying to figure out how to cut through, just taking a breath and not just splitting and getting myself into more trouble, So
right.
Crazy day. Lappers made it interesting, but track shaped up awesome. It was great track to race on. How it developed, got really rough there at the end. You really had to push, but the ruts were great and the flow was great.
How really rough did it get? We were talking about that in the pre-race, that it was going to be rough, fast sections and then rough again.
Yeah, so it actually kind of worked backwards. The fast sections ended up getting super choppy, and then the slow sections just everyone was just kind of rolling through there and just kind of trying to there wasn't a lot of braking bumps in the slower area, so it actually shaped up to be really nice ruts in the slow areas. But then the fast sections it got worse than I thought it was going to be with chop.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Also in the WXC, Jess Elioff pulled off a win. So it's just her and Hannah Hunter going to battle with each other.
Yeah, they seem to have separated just a little bit. They seem to have something special. Chloe Harper, I think it was her first WXC podium, got third. this past weekend.
Yeah,
I
that
think
changes up a bit.
yeah, stepping up. I heard she led the first couple laps, so I didn't go
Really?
back lap times, but I heard from a couple people that she led the first couple laps, or was at least up in the battle. So, good
So
weekend for her.
do you think it was the course, or do you think we got a new young lady, popping in to shake things up?
You never know, like Mikey Wayne says on the Racer TV broadcast, confidence breeds wins. Wins breed confidence, and confidence breeds wins. So I'm getting a little bit of confidence with this podium. Maybe it'll help her get rolling in the right direction.
Oh, I think so. That's you got your first couple wins and you won a title, and now you're punching out wins and fighting for the lead every time. So it's I believe that. I totally believe that. It's just like in the ATV-MX, when somebody finally gets up there and challenges and beats Joel, now you have a new guy because his confidence level's there that he can go that fast.
Yeah, and with any sport, right? Even with Chris Borich, he was the guy for so long, and then Walker finally was able to get to his level and step up and challenge him and get a few wins. And you see that about everywhere.
Yeah, Brycen Neal, was fast, strong, running in second, and now he's the guy. Well, he's not the point leader right now, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it was a really fun race, even though it was really tough.
Yeah. I had a great weekend. I really enjoyed the race. I thought it was clean, hard, good racing that we had. I thought it was an excellent weekend of racing, and and then for the PM race, we'll move right on to it since you just segued into it. John Glauda Jr. with the whole shot in the XC1 class, and then his younger brother James Glauda with the whole shot in the XC2 class.
Oh wow!
John absolutely sent it on the outside of the start. He ended up clipping, I think, Brycen, sent it on two wheels and just absolutely sent the start and got the whole shot. It was really cool to see. And then
awesome. Before we get too deep into the XC1, I would rather go back to the phenomenon of the 5-0 with Steve. That guy is setting the world on fire down there with 5 wins. That's not unheard of in XC racing, but XC2, he has just separated himself from the whole field.
Yeah, he's just always in the top 10 or barking at the top 10 every single race in the overall with all the XC1 guys. Super consistent, putting in his laps and just riding his race. I think he's in a good spot where he's at, and just keep doing what you're doing, Steven. Trouble trying to get to the XC1 guys early and just picking through them.
Did he get the whole shot? Oh, he didn't get the whole shot. How long it took him to get the lead?
Second, third. So he had a great start.
So it didn't take him that long to get out front.
I wouldn't imagine so.
Wow, that it's just the next level guy. I mean, you almost need a XC 2.5 class. No,
it's a great stepping stone. He's just you always have your standout riders almost every year. Last year it was Wyatt Wilkin and Jay Shad. So it's just it's always evolving. Just Steven's learned a lot from them guys last year, and he was him and Brandon Owens were kind of standout third and fourth place riders, and this year they're kind of the standout first and second place riders when Brandon's rolling. But Brandon just having issues, just not getting the finishes he deserves. Great talent there.
Eller's rolled into second in points.
Super consistent.
And holding in them 2-3 spots. I think he's got 1/4, but for the most part, he's bounced himself into second in points, a good and a solid second at that.
No, he's been super consistent. I don't know what he's figured out in his program this off season, but definitely a big step up from last year. I'm pretty much always in the top 15 overall, and just super consistent. Didn't see it from him coming into this year, so good to see.
Maybe that Team Phoenix has made some changes with some of their personnel, and maybe they've done some development. I'm not sure. Having Brycen Neal on the team probably has helped him quite a bit as well.
Yeah, definitely a good guy to learn from. Yeah, can't complain about that. Yeah, if your train buddy's the number one guy, you're definitely gonna get faster, learn a few things. But I don't know. I know Brycen stays in Ohio all winter, so I don't know how much training they even did together. So this might just be all on Eller.
It could be all on Eller. It could be a little bit of bike setup changes. I mean, it's always subtle when that fast guy walks up and just says something gentle to you about making a change here or doing this, or maybe it could be just somebody coming over and giving you a pat on the back and telling you how good you're doing. That just changes your whole mental attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Just get your mind focused on something else. Maybe you're just focused on the wrong thing, and just being aware and just focus on the right things.
You and I have had a conversation about our mental state going into a race. If you're mentally off, odds are your race is not going to be that good.
Yeah, no, you gotta be focused and know how you want to do your race. Everyone's got their own setup. Just find what works for you.
We were talking about rain also before that. It was raining when we were doing our pre-race. Did you guys get any bad weather that day at all?
No, actually ended up turning out. I don't know if we got hardly any rain that night. I went to bed not long after we talked that night. So it was sprinkling Friday night. It was supposed to rain a little bit Saturday. I don't know if it did or not, but the conditions were perfect Saturday. Really nice soil. Had a couple wet spots, but they got blown out in the first couple of laps, and beautiful track to race on. I had a great race.
Well, when I seen your machine, it had some mud on it. The later machines were clean basically when they came off.
Yep, they can thank us. Yeah, no. Tooth race, and they blew out a little bit, and then I don't think we were talking about during the pre-race show. I don't think there was any cutoff for the PM at all. So we got to run their entire track. So we blew out everything for them.
Oh, that's unusual, right?
Yeah, very. There's almost always a PM cutoff. With this track, there were 2 dirt bike only cutoffs for both the dirt bike races. So like we were talking about during the pre-race before, I think that the dirt bikes also were the same exact track for both races.
Do they, when they cut them off, is it a technical area that they're cutting off or a narrow area?
Normally it's something only a dirt bike can do. Normally it's just something narrow or like a little bridge or something that quad can't do, or they don't want the quad doing.
Okay.
They got their reasons for it being dirt bike only. PM only, it's normally like a pro hill climb or some super technical section. They don't want to deal with pulling out all the C riders. So
understood. Even though you and the WXC could probably make it, they still have other riders that they have to consider at the same time, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's you gotta set up the track for the trail rider if you got a trail rider class in your race. So you gotta find that balance.
That might be. I could ride that class.
Yeah, no, but like that's why they have like the pro option lines for like the pros during the pro race, which I think are really cool. And I talked to Carrie Joe this winter about introducing some type of pro option for the 4x4 and WXC only during the AM race. So
that would be cool.
It would be cool, but it's not the end of the world.
Right. I get it. Yeah, that's incredible. So I want to get into something that I read a little bit about, but I want firsthand knowledge. There was a penalty given in the XC1 class, which to my knowledge, it's the first time I've ever heard of a penalty like this. And it's probably because I don't follow it like I should, but the penalty for being 3 foot off the course when you're already in the lead, and did it really make a difference?
So here's the whole story. I want to have. Brycen Neal ended up physically winning this weekend's race. He got first place through the race. He's the winner in my heart. So there's a line that Brycen took early in the race to pass John Glauda. It was 28 feet off the track, and the rule is you're only allowed to be 25 feet off the track. So he cut the corner by 3 foot. Had he not passed John, I don't think anything would have happened of it. But since he gained an advantage breaking a rule, there's where your two position docks come from. He got docked 2 positions because he passed John in this spot. That was 3 feet over the track. So he got 1 dock for passing someone while off course. And then he got a second penalty dock for breaking the rule in general.
So was it a line that somebody else had already ran? Or was it worn in, or was it just one of those cool lines that you guys find when you walk the track?
I don't know what line it was. I didn't see what it was. Someone was standing out there with a video camera and got video of them hitting it. So I don't know the entire details of that end. I don't know what line it was. He said that it had tire marks in it from the race before, but no clue.
That's kind of rough there, right there, isn't it? With them not being able to have a solid answer. And a spectator saw the video?
Yeah, a spectator took the video and brought it in. I heard it was like a neutral party, like not anyone from any of the pro pits. They
Wow.
took the video and had a problem with the line and brought it in. I don't know all the details on that end, but
That's a little rough right there. But I've seen it in other series where the outcome of the race would not have been changed by what the individual did, but the rules are the rules.
yeah. So if they would have docked him a minute per foot, he cut the track, right? A minute per foot, he would have still won the race. He won the race by 3.5 minutes. Like he was gone. So like he, in my mind, he would have passed them somewhere. Just the line he took. We're not, no one's out there with a tape measure when they're marking the track. We're all just using our best judgment. No one's trying to cheat. Brycen's definitely not trying to cheat anyone. So 3 foot over the track to get docked 2 positions is on his first like ever infraction that I'm aware of is a little rough.
Yeah, I agree, but it still comes down to you have to have a base rule set and the rules. And I feel bad for him. Back when we were racing works with Eichner, Josh Fredericks got penalized at one race because the course is dug in and it's deep. So it's when you go through this right-hand turn, you're probably 2 foot lower than the surface, and instead of running that wide turn, he ran on the upper higher surface on the inside. He didn't pass anybody. There was nobody else in the video. Just somehow he ended up in that line and just stayed on the inside, but it was cutting the course. Technically illegal.
I mean, if you gain no advantage from it, like if he were to like say he got kicked to the inside and if you like diving into that inside, like if you don't gain an advantage from a small off-course excursion, I don't see any harm in that.
But it's the rule.
And it's how the rule is written and how the rule is enforced.
Yeah, so. And they enforced it, and unfortunately he was docked, and it gave the win to somebody else. But it just it's one of those things. Yeah, we feel bad and we want to argue it, but we have to have that outline of rule for everyone so that it's not mayhem.
Yeah, no, and absolutely. So that's the way. So for GNCC, the rule was anything over 25 feet. If you gain an advantage, you get docked 2 positions. So that's how everyone understands the rule now. And if anyone were to have an issue with that, they would have to rewrite how the rule is written.
Right.
You just have to know. I have to know how the rules are and stay within them.
How did Brycen take it?
Good. Disappointed. He just won the race, and a line that he took that he thought was good was 3 foot over, and he just lost 2 positions and all these points, and just that's kind of defeating almost. Just a stupid mistake like that. He would have passed them somewhere else. He won by 3.5 minutes. Just the line he happened to take was just over the line, so he's just going to have to just kind of reel it in a little bit, not so far out. So
and you're also talking about ramifications by it changed the points. It put Hunter Hart into a point lead, so it wasn't just a penalty and a dock of some points in a position. It could have changed the outcome of the season if it was later on.
Yeah, definitely can. And then this is the second time that Brycen's been docked over an unfortunate issue. He almost lost a championship over it last year with the pit strategy, not the pit strategy, but how they marked the pits and how Brycen came into his pit. It was a weird situation last year, but yeah, hopefully this doesn't cost Brycen in the long run.
I don't think it will. And it's unfortunate for him, but look, on the other hand, Hunter Hart got his second win and took over the point lead. I believe John Glauda was second.
Yep, absolutely. He was third, and then got given the second place.
Yep. So he had a great ride, helped him in the points because of that early season miss with the illness, and so that's bringing him back into the fold. Was Cole Richardson fourth and McGill fifth?
Yeah. McGill was fourth for most of the day, but Cole made a last lap charge and got that fourth place spot.
Well, Adam's been pretty consistent,
Yeah, yes, very, very solid from the Gator this year. Top 5 in points after 5 rounds, and just clicking away right around 5th every race. So I think he's got 6th one race, but every other race has been 5th or 4th, if I'm not mistaken. So he's clicking off really good races.
Yeah, he's doing great, and he's the only, not the only one on a Honda, but he's on the off-brand and doing well. Making a tough go out of it, and for a guy that's probably old enough to be most of their dads,
Yeah, got himself a really solid program. Knows everything about the Honda. He's been on it for a while. He's comfortable, and he's just focusing on himself and what he can do. He's that Lyme disease that he has. He's battling it, and he's changed his diet, and just everything just seems to be clicking for him.
Well, once you get it down and you understand how to take care of yourself with an issue like that, it's always better. And it's great that he has a great camp and great people behind him helping him.
Yeah. My girlfriend Lacey was talking to Haley McGill, Adam's wife, and no, I'm sorry, Haley was talking to my mom, and then my mom was talking to me and Lacey about it. Haley was telling her about how they do meal prep and different stuff, and they're all in on it.
Well, it extends your career, when you start taking care of yourself and you do things differently. I had a long conversation with Chad Weenan about it when he switched to plant-based, and the blood work that he does, and they're always constantly monitoring everything so that his body is always at peak and performing the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, we're all professional athletes, just trying to, if your body's not at least where it needs to be, and if you're serious about it, you try to get it above that and take care of yourself. Like me and Lacey are taking terrible turmeric and lemon pepper shots for, I don't know. Lacey's all serious on it. I'm doing what I can to keep up with all of the new stuff that she's trying and she's in on. And but no, we eat super clean, super healthy, and just trying to take care of ourselves, not only for the racing but for ourselves.
And that's what we need to do, and that's the way it needs to be. Especially as you get older, you're still really young, so you're kind of still indestructible. But the better shape and the cleaner you are now, the better you will be when you get to my age.
Yeah, no, my back's going to hate me when I'm your age, but other than that, I'm trying to take care of myself.
If you keep staying on the rowing machine and keep stretching, I don't think your back will be an issue when you're my age. I think you'll be good.
Okay.
You're young and strong, and you'll stay active. And as long as you're active, things, aren't as bad as they seem. When you sit down on the couch too much, that's when we really start having problems.
Yeah, don't let the old man in. That's one of my dad friends always says, don't let the old man in.
Right. They say when you get in that cage, you get old.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to get into a cage, even though I don't ride very often. I'm still not ready to get in the cage.
Yep, got to do something. Got to stay busy.
Well, it's probably because every time I get in a cage, I put it on its lid. So.
Yeah, that's why you got it, right?
Well, yeah, but that's not. It's not cost efficient.
Oh no, that's fun. No, it's yeah.
So round
Can't-
6.
Can't know the limits if you don't find them.
Right on. Round 6. What do we got to look forward to?
Back in some real dirt up in Indiana, the Hoosier, and you know, boys out there always rowdy. Great spectators out there. Track's awesome. Always, don't know if it's going to be silt from all the dust, perfect cake batter, or soup. That's the Indiana always keeps you guessing. So we'll see what the conditions are, but I think everyone's excited. Everyone's ready to go. Brycen's looking for redemption. The XC1 class. Hunter wants to back up that win. John Glauda is really hungry after that podium. You know, he's got some motivation. Cole wants a good comeback ride. Adam's stepping up. The XC1 class is so good right now. Steve Harrell looking to go 6 for 6. Everyone in that XC2 class trying to stop them.
Well, in all of your 4 major classes that we talk about, you have battles going on, you know, for the title. It's, I mean, you have a small cushion, but by no means are you safe. And
No.
Hanna has a small cushion, but by no means is she safe. So
yeah, no, it's we're not even halfway through the season yet. We're only 5 rounds in, so anything
Right.
can happen. Just focusing one race at a time and taking care of business.
exactly. It's a lot of fun. I really appreciate it. And I guess that we'll be talking again in 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
2 weeks from now. It's 3 weeks from the previous round. So
Right. Hoosier, Illinois, right? Indiana, sorry.
The Hoosier GNCC, Crawfordsville, Indiana.
Isn't that at the Ironman facility?
Yep, same place. They just it's the spring version. So it's the Hoosier.
Excellent. That's awesome, sir. That was the man himself, my dad, Danny Duncan. He was just handing me a note for something to do. But we love all this stuff. Everybody in the XC, you guys are doing amazing. Keep it up. And Cody, as always, thank you for being the lead out there and getting me all the information, and so that we can spread it around. And we will get back on schedule so that we're not late next round, I promise.
Oh no, all's good, man. No, we're busy. I know you got stuff going on in your life, so no, happy we could fit it in, and yeah, looking forward to the next one. Looking forward to the next round.
Well, my background's different because the laptop to do this is with Valeria, and she's at a festival, a music festival, and she's waiting for us to finish so that she can download it onto YouTube while she's at the festival. What dedication?
She's on it. Mobile. She's on it.
Yeah, and she's dedicated. So we really appreciate her as well. Everybody have an amazing couple weeks, and we'll see you in Indiana.